Welcome to Math Quiz. In this video, I am going to explain how to calculate Carl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation using shortcut method or assumed mean method. Here, we have to take the deviations from an assumed mean. If the values of x and y are large numbers and also the x bar and y bar are in terms of fraction, we make use of this formula to calculate the Carl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. That is R is equal to n sigma dx dy minus sigma dx sigma dy over under root n sigma dx square minus sigma dx the whole square under root n sigma dy square minus sigma dy the whole square. To make use of this formula, we calculate the Carl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation under this method. Actually, already we have discussed two methods. Actual mean method is used only when x and y assumes small values and x bar and y bar are in terms of whole numbers. We make use of actual mean method. Suppose if x bar that is x and y are still in small numbers, but x bar and y bar assumes fractional values, then we go for direct method. That we have already, these two cases we have discussed already. Let me come to the third case. If instead of taking the small values of x and y, if x and y are large values and x bar and y bar are in terms of fractions, then we move on to shortcut method to calculate Carl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Here, dx refers to the deviations of x values from an assumed mean and dy refers to the deviations of y values from an assumed mean, and sigma dx is sum of deviations. Sigma dy refers to sum of deviations of y, and sigma dx square is sum of squares of deviations of x, and sigma dy square is sum of squares of deviations of y, and sigma dx dy refers to sum of the products of dx dy, and here n refers to the total number of observations, that is a pair of observations. With this short introduction, let me now move on to an example and explain how to calculate the coefficient of correlation under this case. Calculate Pearson's coefficient for this one. Here the values of x and y are given. X takes the values 23, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 33, 35, 36 and 39. Corresponding values of y are 18, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28, 29, 30 and 32. To calculate Pearson coefficient for this case, let me first write down the formula. That is R is equal to, we have to write down the formula to calculate. Since here the values of x and y are large, we make use of this shortcut method to calculate Pearson's coefficient. So for this, now let me first calculate sigma dx, sigma dy and sigma dx dy and sigma dx square and sigma dy square. For that, let me first construct a table, whereas the first column consists of the values of x and the fourth column consists of the given values of y. Now, first let me calculate dx. Dx is nothing but x minus, that is deviations of x values from the assumed mean, that is x minus assumed minus a. Here I have to take, you have to take any values from this x values. Let me take the center value, since we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 values. So center value, there is a tie between the center values. Either I have to take 30 or 31. So arbitrarily I have to take 31 as my assumed mean value. So dx is nothing but x minus 31. Now you have to subtract all values of x from minus 31. 23 minus 31, that is minus 8. 27 minus 31 is minus 4. 28 minus 31 is minus 3. 29 minus 31 is minus 2. 30 minus 31 is minus 1. And 31 minus 31 is 0. 33 minus 31 is 2. 35 minus 31 is 4. 36 minus 31 is 5. 39 minus 31 is 8. And we calculate dx square. Dx square is nothing but square of this dx value, that is minus 8 square is 64, minus 4 square 16, minus 3 square 9, minus 2 square 4, minus 1 square is 1, 0 square 0, 2 square is 4, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25 and 8 square is 64. Now let me calculate dy and dy square. Dy here, dy square. Dy is deviation of y values from an assumed mean. Here I have to take y minus. Assumed mean, there is a tie between these two values, that is 25 and 26. Here I have to take the assumed mean as 25. So 25. So that is dy is y minus 25. So 18 minus 25 minus 7, 22 minus 25 minus 3, 23 minus 25 minus 2, 24 minus 25 is minus 1, 25 minus 25 is 0, 26 minus 25 is 1, 28 minus 25 is 3, 29 minus 25 is 4, 30 minus 25, that is 5, 32 minus 25 is 7. Let me calculate its square of this value, that is minus 7 square 49, minus 3 square 9, minus 2 square is 4, minus 1 square 1, 0 square 0, 1 square 1, 3 square 9 and 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25 and 7 square is 49. And one more value we need, that is sigma dx dy. That is, for that let me take the product of dx with dy, that is minus 8 minus 7, that is 56 plus 56 becomes minus and minus becomes positive. Minus 4 multiplied by minus 3 plus 12 and minus 3 multiplied by minus 2 we get 6 plus 6. Minus 2 multiplied by minus 1, 2, and minus 1 is when multiplied by 0 we get 0. Next 0 multiplied by 1 we get 0 again. 2 3s are 6. Next 4 4s are 16. 5 5s are 25. 8 7s are 56. Now let me calculate total of all these values. Now to calculate Pearson coefficient we need the values of sigma dx dy, that is sigma dx dy and sigma dx and sigma dy and sigma dx square and sigma dy square. We need all these values to calculate Pearson's coefficient. Now let me first add the values of dx first. Now minus 8, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, leave 0, next plus 2, plus 4, plus 5, plus 8. We get the total as 1. That is, sum of deviations of x values from an assumed mean is 1. Next, sigma dx square, that is 64 plus 16 plus 9 plus 4 plus 1 plus leave 0. next 4 plus 16 plus 25 plus 64, we get the total as 203. Next, add the values of sigma dy, minus 7, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, leave 0, plus 1, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 7, we get the total 7. That is, sum of the deviations of y values from the assumed mean is 7. Next, sigma dy square, that is 49 plus 9 plus 4 plus 1 plus leave 0 plus 1 plus 9 plus 16 plus 25 plus 49, we get the total as 163. Next, product of the deviations. That is, sum of product of the deviations we have to calculate. That is, start with 56 plus 12 plus 6 plus 2, leave 0, plus 6 plus 16 plus 25 plus 56, we get the total as 179. So now we calculated all the values. Now substitute in the formula and finalize the value of R now. R is equal to n. N is number of pairs of observation. Since we are having 10 pairs of observation, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So n is 10. 10. Sigma dx dy is 179 minus sigma dx is 1 and sigma dy 7 whole divided by under root n is 10. Sigma dx square is 203 minus sigma dx the whole square, that is 1 square, under root n is 10. Sigma dy square is 163 minus sigma dy the whole square, that is 7 square. Simplifying this, we get 10 multiplied by 179, you get 1790 minus 1 sevens are 7 whole divided by 10 multiplied by 203, we get 2030 and minus 1 square is 1. So if you subtract 1, 2029. So if you take square value, you get 45.044. So 45.044. Then next, for y, 10 multiplied by 163 minus 7 square is 49. You get 1581. If you take the square root of this value, 39.762. So $39.762, and multiply these two values. In the numerator, first you have to subtract, that is 1790 minus 7, you get 1783 whole divided by, when you multiply 45.044 with 39.762, you get the total as 1791.04, and you divide 1783 by 1791.04, you get the value 0.004 0.996. We have to take up to 3 decimal places. So 0.996. So R is equal to 0.996. So based on this value, our interpretation is there is a high positive correlation between the two variables. Let me show you the scatter diagram of the given variables x and y. So here there is an upward movement and maximum all of the points lie on the straight lines. So there is a slight deviations of these 2 points. So based on this diagram, our interpretation is there exists a high degree of positive correlation, but after calculating Carl-Pearson's coefficient, we get a good idea about how strong the relationship is between the two variables x and y. That is R is equal to 0.996. That is, there exists a strong relationship between the two variables x and y. Hope you got a clear idea about how to calculate Carl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation using assumed mean method or shortcut method. Thanks for watching. See you again in my next video.